Welcome everyone. Today we're going to discuss about the growing problem of online gambling in Indonesia, its impact on society and possible solution. First, let's begin this IGD session by exploring how big the issue really is. Okay, the question is, what do you think about the current state of online gambling in Indonesia?
Okay, from my perspective on this case, online gambling has become a huge problem despite the government's effort to ban it. 4 million people continue to gamble online. It was reported that 440,000 are between 11 to 20 years old, and even a staggering 80,000 of them are below 10. Can you imagine how deeply troubling this is? This not only poses a serious risk to their financial futures, but also to their mental health and overall well-being. In just the last 5 years, approximately 600 trillion Indonesian rupiah have been lost to online gambling.
Thank you, Nadia, for your opinion. I agree with your opinion on this matter. The impact on families is devastating, and it's no surprise that compulsive online gambling plays a big role in detrimental social problems, such as loan sharks, divorce, or even murder. The consequences of gambling addictions have extended far beyond the individual. Data has shown that Indonesia's state revenue in 2024 is estimated to be more than 2,700 trillion rupiah. This puts an enormous scale of financial loss due to online gambling, highlighting the need for urgent actions. Government must consider this when crafting policies, especially when outside of activities explicitly permit. Gambling has been banned since 1993.
Indonesia had a complicated relationship with gambling laws. While there was an attempt to legalize gambling in 1991, of course, this move faced strong opposition from religious scholars and was quickly reversed. And how did it turn out? Everyone knows, to this day, online gambling has surged despite various efforts to block websites and financial transactions. While it's on the right path, it's not enough, even though there's a law that bans gambling and punishable up to 10 years. People still do that, so where did it go wrong? We should change.
Thank you for the insightful perspective. You raised such a valuable point for us to discuss further. In fact, Indonesia's solutions are more reactive rather than proactive. Anyone can give what other solutions do you think could help shift the system?
Learning from other countries to prohibit online gambling activities, it is not enough if our country just established a law to forbid gambling without any continuous supervision related to the law. If we observe other countries like Singapore and the UK, which have almost the same frequency of online gambling as Indonesia, they do have laws and regulations which prohibit online gambling. But they also created regulatory frameworks to overcome this online gambling problem.
I personally agree with your statement. As an Indonesian citizen, I'm very conscious that Indonesian regulations are still heavily influenced by social norms and religious values, which makes it difficult for our country to set strict regulations and penalties against gambling players. Indonesia really must learn from the United Kingdom's attempt to establish gambling commission to oversee gambling activities and make the gamblers pay for gambling duties. Malaysia and Singapore's law to prohibit any forms of online gambling except the licensed one, while also focusing on ensuring security and minimizing crime, is also a good example for Indonesia to go after.
Okay, thank you Akmal and Sultan for your statements. It is summarized that there are two main regulatory approaches which can be implemented in Indonesia to prohibit these online gambling activities. The first is to legalize online gambling, or the second is to fully prohibit online gambling activities. But prohibition has proven ineffective because online gambling has remained widespread even after the law was established. So on the other hand, it is also hard for Indonesia to go after countries which legalize online gambling with further supervisions because of Indonesia's strong religious beliefs and social norms. It is very likely for the Indonesian Ulama Council to oppose this legalization.
Yes, indeed. It's very difficult for us because we have two main regulatory approaches which are both not effective to implement in Indonesia. So, for Sekar, could you offer the best solution to implement in Indonesia? As we know, Indonesia as a country which has strong religious beliefs and on the other side has a high online gambling problem.
From my perspective, the most effective approach is to involve partial legalization with specific qualifications such as age limits, addiction prevention, and advertising bans. Firm requirements are needed to access online gambling websites in Indonesia. For example, a photo of resident's identity card as a proof that the user has reached the legal age limit must be attached in order to access the website.
I completely agree with Sekar. In addition, professional help to prevent online gambling addiction must also be encouraged by the government. For example, the government could provide a hotline for the resident to contact if they want to stop gambling addiction or have been exposed by gambling in their environment. Gambling advertisements also have to be shown at a certain times. For example, at midnight, where children and teenagers are not actively online.
Overall, online gambling in Indonesia remains a significant issue despite laws banning it. The problem persists due to lack of effective regulations, weak enforcement, and insufficient support for those who affected. This highlights the need for a better solutions. And thank you for all your opinion and insight. By working together, I believe we can make meaningful progress, and I really appreciate everyone's time and contribution today. I, Angel, as your moderator on focus group discussion, will officially close this session.